This next guy is someone that when I bring up the case, people get very frustrated with me. Uh, Draymond Green is a Hall of Famer. Like there's no question. He's a 4-time champion. He's a 7-time all defense member. He won the 2016-17 defensive player of the year. He is a 4-time all-star, 2-time all NBA, much like Clay. Like in many ways, the heart and soul of like a title run here with the Golden State Warriors. And on top of that, Draymond Green changed the way NBA defenses run. Like he is almost as relevant to the highest levels of basketball as Stephen Curry is to, like, when you go to a middle school and you see guys shooting threes and pulling up from 30 feet, like Draymond Green and his switchability, his ability to play as a small ball center, his versatility as a defender, his toughness, it changed the way that teams defend. I know that teams have now switched back to more of a drop scheme, but you look at what's winning in the playoffs, it's the Draymond Green defenders. It's not, the drop coverage defenders, by and large. The Milwaukee Bucks won a title a couple of years ago doing all of this as well, but they're doing the drop coverage scheme and playing with Giannis as well, but they played small throughout a decent amount of that run as well. Draymond Green changed the way that NBA teams defend, and he is one of the best defensive players of all time. Ben Wallace just got into the Hall of Fame. Yeah. I think it's undeniable that Draymond Green has had a better career than Ben Wallace. No disrespect to Ben Wallace. I think that Draymond Green, I've said this before and I'll say it again. I saw that, especially Draymond Green, he got, Draymond, I got caught up here for a second here. I'm sorry. Draymond Green mentioned that Klay Thompson should have been on the NBA 75 team. And a lot of people were very disappointed that Klay Thompson wasn't named to the NBA 75 team. I think that the second guy on that Warriors team that should be on that team is Draymond Green, to be honest. Just straight up. I think he has had a more relevant career in the way that the NBA is played. And I think he's had a more relevant career than Klay Thompson because of just how impactful he is defensively and how we underrate defensive value league-wide.
Yeah, I mean, switching was a dirty word before Draymond Green came in and helped revolutionize those Warriors defenses. And what he's done to keep them there as his body has aged, as he's played, with so many different lineups and different asks of him. He's definitely a Hall of Famer in that regard. We're both draft guys, Sam. And what I continue to hear and see in so many spaces, who's going to be the next Draymond Green? Can this guy be a Draymond Green? Can he fill that type of role? You don't say that about somebody that isn't incredibly valuable, of using them as the new archetype for somebody that you want to find the next version of. What he does and brings to the table is not always going to be encapsulated by statistics. You have to understand that when you're looking at a player like Draymond, not just because he's played with so many other Hall of Famers, but because that's not what makes him impactful. It's all the ways that don't show up in the stat sheet. And he passes every eye test that you would ever want. He's had such a big impact. He's a culture driver for a championship team, which is incredibly important. I can't understand a reason to not have Draymond Green be a Hall of Famer.
Yeah. And how many players have we been, have been discussed as the next Draymond Green? Grant Williams, PJ Washington, Albert Singleton here in the comments mentioned Scotty Barnes got drafted at number 4 because of Draymond Green comparisons. There are so many of them. So many guys get compared to Draymond Green throughout this process, and it's ridiculous. Like he is a one of one. Like you can't compare anyone to Draymond Green because his basketball brain, I think, is one of like the 5 or 6 best I've ever seen play basketball. Just straight up. Like his IQ. Draymond Green is not overly athletic. He is 6'6", playing as like a power forward center, and he still is one of the most effective basketball players in the NBA. And it's because his brain processes things on the court faster than everybody else on the planet, essentially, other than like maybe you could say LeBron, maybe you could say Luka Doncic, like maybe you could say one or two other guys, Nikola Jokic, certainly. But it's just so incredible. Like he is, yeah, I could go on and on about Draymond Green, but we got to press onward here.